89% are behind the Commanders hiring Mike McDaniel as their next offensive coordinator.
It's a big number.
We heard names from Dan Orlovsky a few days ago when Cliff Kingsbury was first let go, and he mentioned guys like Mike LaFleur and Josh McCown,
Clay
Kubiak. But Orlovsky, since McDaniel was hired, he said the Commanders should hire Mike McDaniel.
Okay.
That's one guy who was a
I respect his
former
opinion.
QB in the league.
Yeah.
By the way, on a very quick side note, did you see that Tom Moore finally retired from the Bucs? He's 87 years old.
Wow, that's amazing.
He's been in the NFL for 48 years.
Was he a consultant at this point? He wasn't.
No,
like
I think he was still on the staff. Like he had some sort of like real position on
but
the
he
staff.
wasn't calling plays.
No.
He was just contributing to the offensive game plan.
Yeah. He's still in
That's
the
awesome.
mix.
I think that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Tom Moore, born in 1938.
Yeah, still grinding.
Good Lord. His title was offensive consultant.
Okay,
So,
it was a consultant.
All right, let's go to the
Lesser
phones. People want to chime in on the Mike McDaniel possibility.
All right, let's go to Charles in Warrenton. 800-636-1067 if you want to chime in. Charles, what's up, buddy? You on with the Junkies?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm a huge Dolphins fan, and
Good.
I love Mike McDaniels, but it was time for him to leave.
Okay.
What I want to say about that guy that said that McDaniel caused Tua's concussions. Tua, instead of sliding, ran into a Buffalo Bills linebacker's thigh with his helmet. That's not McDaniel's fault that he didn't slide.
Yeah, McDaniel, like,
Yeah.
come on, you can't blame him for that.
Yeah, we know.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I think the guy's thinking of it, though, in the context of Jaden, and part of the reason some people think they wanted to move on from Kingsbury was exposing him too much. So in thinking of it in that vein, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for throwing it out there as as a talking point. But I agree with you. I don't blame McDaniel.
How would you describe the Dolphins' offense?
Before McDaniel got there, Tua wasn't that good. But McDaniel, his first 2 years there, 22 and 23, Tua ended up leading the NFL in 23 in total yards and I think completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And even through 24, he was in the top 5 all time in completion percentage. So McDaniel did a lot to help Tua because Tua has a really good ability to hit people with accuracy and throw to where they won't get hit, but he couldn't do that for himself. So,
Tua's just a smaller guy. He's not a great athlete. He's not a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have the strongest arm.
He's an anticipatory tight window throw guy.
And he just got hit so many times. So I can see why the offense declined.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one of the problems you could foresee is McDaniel has I guess it's kind of a reputation of like a spread them out, pass happy offense, and maybe that's unfair. But
No, I don't think so. I think he likes to run the ball.
He does like to run the ball, too. I mean, they average 120 rushing yards per game this year, so that's kind of in the middle of the pack.
So when Dan says they want to run the ball more or be more run heavy, you think Mike would be?
Oh, I think he'd be amenable to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it would be a pretty darn good fit, to be honest with you.
I mean, he had a pretty good running back in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Devon Achane in your backfield, you're going to lean on that guy, and he clearly did throughout this season and last.
All right, let's go to Rod in DC. Rod, what's up?
Hey man, congratulations on the 31st.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Now I like a guy. I mean, he's okay, but I think they should go after Brian Leftwich. He's a Super Bowl winning MVP.
Hold on, Byron Leftwich? Is that who you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a Super Bowl winning coordinator, and he's a quarterback, and he knows how to win.
I mean, he's been out of the league for at least one season, right? Like he's not even on a staff.
What did he do this past year?
I don't know.
He was hired by Colorado, so he's out there with Primetime.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good fit.
He could be.
I'm not sure what his role is out there.
He was the hot name that everybody was hyping up.
Yeah, because Tampa had good offenses.
He was out of the mix for a couple of years. He last worked for Tampa in 2022 and was hired by Colorado in 25.
Yeah.
So
All right,
Yeah,
let's
not
go
sure.
to let's go
I
to
don't think he's going to be the guy.
But he's been a
James.
QB coach. He's been an offense
So he has
coordinator
all
for
the
2
resume.
teams.
Yeah.
He has all the resume builders that you want. I just don't know why he seemed to have fallen out of favor in terms of like the hot, sexy name.
Yeah, why was he out of the league for so long?
James Falls Church. James, what's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Good morning. So I'll give you 3 reasons why Mike McDaniel's not your guy.
All right.
One, if you recall earlier in the season, Tua called out a lot of the players on the Dolphins
Yep.
because they weren't showing up to meetings.
Yep, that's true.
So I think there's a respect issue for Mike McDaniel. Number 2, as has been mentioned a couple times this morning, you got Tua who got hurt. You've got Jaden who's been hurt. If they don't run the right system, it's probably not quarterback health friendly. And the final thing is that most coordinators don't want to stay as coordinators. And if you've been a head coach and you go back to being a coordinator, the first chance you get to be a head coach again, you're out. And the one thing we do know about quarterbacks around the league is that if you have multiple offensive coordinators with young quarterbacks year in and year out, they simply don't develop. And as Troy Aikman said on Monday Night Football, I guess it was last week or the week before, it was, the league happens to fail quarterbacks more than quarterbacks happen to fail. And if Jaden is working on his 3rd offensive coordinator because Mike McDaniel leaves because he has a stellar year, that's not great for Jaden, and that's not great for the community.
Yeah, but it's likely to happen with any quarterback any coordinator.
So you're saying you want like an up and coming guy,
And I'm not going to worry about the
who
guy,
hasn't been a head coach.
I'm not going to
before.
worry about the guy leaving who hasn't even been hired yet. Like
Well,
I just want the guy who I think is the best fit for my offense and my quarterback, and then I'll deal with him leaving or departing for a head coaching gig later.
Anybody that has success at an elite level could potentially leave. Anybody.
Of course.
That's not unique to McDaniel.
And as far as guys like missing meetings while he was the head coach there, well, maybe he's just not a disciplinarian type, and being a coordinator
You
is
don't
actually
have
a
to
better
be.
spot for
That
him.
is a red
where-
flag.
Well, that's my point.
That's
that
not a great-
some
it's not a
guys
great thing.
some guys are better just at one job at a coordinator than being the head
But, like,
coach, being the CEO.
Dan Quinn can be the heavy as far as like guys missing meetings,
Yeah.
and McDaniel can just scheme up the offense.
Yeah.
All right,
That
let's
could be
go
his
to my
thing.
guy. You guys hear me talk about Vinny and Joe all the time. My guy, Joe P., like a savant Dolphins fan. I'm telling you, I want to get his take. I mean, you guys hear his take on Mike McDaniel. Joe P., what's up, buddy?
How's it going, Navy?
Hey.
What's up, Joe?
Are you in
What's up, Joe?
Fort Myers right now?
I am in Fort Myers. Yep.
Beautiful.
Enjoying the
Jealous.
beautiful weather.
What a
Love it.
life.
Love
What
it.
made you a Dolphins fan growing up?
Actually, my brother liked the emblem. So my dad wasn't like a
Logos.
big football fan. So, we just started watching them, and then they were actually good and on TV in the 70s. So, and then once Marino got there, kind of just solidified
Basically the
that.
same reason I started rooting for the dumb
Yeah.
Raiders.
I mean,
'cause
he was a
like
child of the Marino era. Like,
I know,
whenever
but he
they
grew
were on
up
it.
in New York.
Yeah.
Understood, but we all do that.
Yeah, he looked up to his brother.
Yeah.
He loved Don Strock.
All right, so Joe P. So I know you thought that window had kind of closed and McDaniel was going to be back. I think you were okay with it, right? Tell the boys what like the pros and cons of McDaniel as a play designer, as an offensive coordinator, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think as far as his play design, he's very creative. I think in the past he kind of got locked in on running his offense that he's been running, and it really didn't match up with the personnel at times because of injuries mostly, where the line really couldn't block well enough to run the system. The other thing is, like, you have to make quick decisions in his offense. So a lot of it's pre-snap rather than reading the defense, where you need to have elite players on the outside as well to exploit the defense. And he had that with Hill and Waddle.
Right.
Once he lost that, he did a really good job this year, I think. He started out 1-6, but he did a really good job changing the whole, style of play. And, they actually really ran the ball well the whole year.
So there's a criticism. People think, oh, he doesn't like to run the ball. That's not true.
No, actually, that's why they got him. He's actually the most creative in the run game. Like if you look at the sets and the misdirection, and he does a lot of very unique things when it comes to the run game. The biggest issue was that they couldn't run the ball when the other team knew they were running the ball in the past. This year they were way better at it because they just couldn't move people off the ball.
Right.
This year they were way better at short yards, 3rd and short, 4th and short. And gaining first downs.
What is your perception of the fit potentially with Jaden?
I think that he would bring Jaden to another level. We've had this discussion before that I think that Jaden's not long for the league if he plays the way he's playing because he's not going to survive physically if his superpower is running the ball.
Why is McDaniel? Why is McDaniel better for him?
Because McDaniel will teach him to get rid of the ball before he has to make that decision, and he may be in that position, once or twice a game, and use his legs like Mahomes does to get to get a pass off or just to get a first down and get out of bounds. But he's not going to use that.
He's not going to RPO him.
No, definitely not. He's going to know how to, read a defense, pre-snap, get rid of the ball, get it to the right guy, and
like what they did with Tua, right, to protect against the concussion. It kind of in a similar vein.
Yeah, but I still need Jaden running to a certain extent. I can't have his legs completely
100%.
taken away.
And that's really what I think was Tua's downfall. The last year and a half is that he literally refused to run. And if he did, he just couldn't pick up the first down. He wasn't physically, able to anymore.
Right.
But Jaden will be able to exploit that because they're going to have to be defending the whole field when it comes to McDaniel. He makes you defend every speck of grass on that field.
And he's big on pre-snap and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
motion.
100%. Yep, motion.
So you're not going to have a situation.
A lot of stress on the defense.
You're not going to have a situation where Terry McLaurin's lining up on the one side every play.
No.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't, like the pre-snap movement that they have really puts the defense, on the defensive to where, it opens up the running game and it'll open up the, he'll have easy runs, what I'm saying, where he'll just be able to run 15 yards and get out of bounds.
So if it was GM Joe P instead of Adam P, would you hire Mike McDaniel here in Washington?
As a coordinator?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, if I was, criticizing him, I think it's more the overall managing, the team as a, CEO type guy. I think that, but he never lost the team. I will tell you that. Like, I don't think he ever lost the team. I just think he's not a disciplinarian. And if you have one and he's the coordinator, I think, he's a good choice. The biggest issues he's had over the years as the coordinator is sometimes he takes a long time to get plays in. And the game management stuff was not great. I think they lost a few games with game management.
Yeah.
And maybe if he's just concentrating on being a coordinator, like that won't be an issue.
Right.
When you're trying to, think of everything that's going on and make the decisions as the whole game decisions, it might be an issue because they really had some, issues during the last 3 or 4 seasons where they just could not get a play in. Like they'd be calling first downs after timeouts.
Yeah. Joe Pete, we got to run.
Yeah.
Timeouts. Okay, no problem.
We're up against the break. Hey, thank you, brother, and I will see you shortly. I gotta get out to Fort Myers. We gotta hang out.
Down to Fort Myers.
Yeah, brother.
Yep. Okay. All right, buddy. All right.
It's Joe P.
Chase has been doing that for 30 years.
Yeah, man.
I just don't
My
think of it
thing.
that way. But that's all good.
All right, coming up next, we talked to Mike Marr earlier in the week when we found out he was the lowest rated guy in terms of the parlay picks. And we've tried to come up with a penalty. We'll bring him in next and figure out if we're going to do belt to ass, boots on the roof. We'll figure that out next here on the Junkies.